Hello students, hope all of you are fine at home. Today we will be seeing how to solve problems based on regular falsi method. Okay, in the last class we have seen what is the concept behind the regular falsi method. Today we will be solving problems. First of all, we will be seeing what are the steps to solve the problem. Then we will be solving a numerical problem. That means our objective will be to find the root of an equation. Okay, so see what will be my steps to solve. First of all, my first step will be to choose 2 points such that the product of FA and FB will be negative. That means basically you need to choose A and B such a way that when FA is negative, my FB will be positive. That means the product will be negative. Fine. Or choose A such that FA is positive and choose B such that FB is negative. Then also this product can be negative. That means this step is basically exactly same like bisection method. Okay, same thing. Now, depending on this A, B and FB, FA, we need to, using these values, we need to find a new point. What is a new point? That is the C. That means, if you can recall the curve, that means C is at this point. We have drawn a chord from A to B, this point to this point, which meet this x-axis at the point C. So this new point will be C. So C will be, we will be calculating the new value C with the help of this formula we have already derived in the last class. Fine. So my second step will be to find C. Now the third step will be to determine the range. What will be my new range? It will depend on the value of the function value at the point C. Okay, so depending on FC, my new range will be determined. So what was my initial range? Initial range means just A to B. That means my root lies between A and B. Because why it should be in A to B? See here. In one case, my function value is positive, and in another case, my function value is negative. That means the root should lie in between these two. Same thing, okay. So my root should lie between A and B. Fine. So my initial range was A to B. Now see, if I choose FA to be positive, then my FB should be negative, such that FA into FB is negative. So if FA is positive, remember this table. If FA is positive, if you choose A such that FA is positive, and if you choose B such that FB is negative initially, then if FC is negative, then a new range will be A and C. That means the A will remain the same, only the other point, that means the right limit will be shifted. Fine, will be updated. Fine. Now, if F is positive and F is negative, but F is positive, then what will happen? Then the B will remain the same. That means your left limit will remain the same, but the left limit will be updated by the value C. In some book they will write X. Okay, they will write Xn. Xn means the value of X at the n step. Fine. Now, if you choose such F is A such that F is negative, then you have to choose B such that F is positive. The reason is same. That means to make this product negative. Then what will happen? Then means again the two cases. For the two cases, what will be my FC? FC can be negative or positive, same thing. this is same thing. Then again the thing will be, for this case, just reverse this two. The case will be reversed. That means for this case, my B will remain the same and my A, that means this A will be updated to new value C. Fine. And for this case, the other way around. That means this A will remain the same, that B will get updated by the new value C. So remember this table. This table is valid for bisection method also. Okay. Now what you need to do, that means in the third step, you need to determine the new range based on the value of FC, and this will be automatically decided. This FA and FB will be decided at the step 1 only. This will depend on you, how you have chosen. Okay. So now we will repeat the process. Same process will be repeated. Okay. Now let's see a problem. Then you will be more clear to understand. See, they are asking to find the root of this. X ln x is equal to 1. Okay, and your answer should be corrected up to 3 decimal places. 3 decimal places. That means after decimal point, you need to consider only 3 places. Fine. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to determine the function, that is fx. Fx is basically this one will be shifted in the left side, x ln x minus 1, and this should be 0. Okay. Now you need to find the root of this equation. Fine. So what you need to do, first of all, you have used x is equal to 1. You can put x is equal to 0 also, or you can put x is equal to 1.5 also, that is up to you. Fine. So here I have chosen x is equal to 1. So my corresponding f1 will be minus 1. That means basically my a is 1 and my fa is basically minus 1. Fine. Now if I put x is equal to 2, this function value f2 is equal to 0.39. That means this is my b and corresponding fb is this one. Okay, so in this case, if you see, fa is negative and fb is positive. That means which condition? fa is negative and fb is positive. That means we are standing at this 2 rows, either this one or this one. Okay. So one thing for sure, that my roots will be lying between 1 and 2, because the product of these two is negative. The product of these two is negative. fa into fb will be negative since they are of opposite signs. Fine. Same thing. Plus, negative, plus, minus. So it should be lying in between. Now, next process will be to make a table. Okay. This is the iteration number. This is your A, B, corresponding FA, FB, C, and Cn plus C, FC. Fine. So what you need to do is, what is my first value? So when n is equal to 0, my first value of A is 1. That means the value you have chosen. And this one is value of B which you have chosen. Okay. Then we have just written the function value at this point and the function value at this point. Fine. Then next you need to determine the value of C, right? C will be, you need to find out with the help of this equation. Okay. Put the value of A from here, FB from here, B from here, FA from here, and likewise. Okay. So in this way, we will find the value of C. It is 1.72. Okay. Now we need to check the function value at this point. So this is minus 0.067. Okay. So minus means this is negative. Now your FC is negative. So which one? FC is negative. This means we are standing here. That means the third row of this table. So for this case, what will be my new range? New range will be C and B. That means my B will remain the same only the A will be updated by the new value. Okay, by new value, that is C. So in the next iteration, my B will remain the same and my A will be this one, this new value. Fine. Then the process is same. Again, you need to calculate the value of the function at this point. This will be the same. Then again you calculate the new value of C with the help of this formula. Then you will again have to find the function value at that point. It is still negative. That means again my B will remain the same, but A will be updated by the new value of C. So updated value will be written here. Then again you found the function values. Then again you have to find out the C. Then again the function value, still it is negative. Then the process continues. Okay. Now see, after step 3, that means after iteration number 3, just compare the value of this last two x. That means last two value of C. In some book they will write instead of C x. Okay. So just compare these two values. So they are telling correct up to 3 decimal places. So you need to check whether after decimal point 3 places are same or not. In this case same, 1.763, that means 0.763 here. Here also 0.763. That means we can stop right here. Okay. So these two you need to compare the previous step value and the current step value. Okay. Value of C. Fine. So your answer will be 1.763. Okay. So in this way you can solve a problem with the help of Regular-Falsi method. Fine. So first step is to choose 2 points AB. We have chosen 2 points AB such that my product is negative. Then we have drawn this table. We have created this table, and first of all we have written the A values, then B, then a corresponding function value at A, then corresponding value of B. Then we have found the new value of C with the help of this formula. Then we have found out the function value at this point. Okay. Then since depending on this polarity of the function, that means negative here, for negative we know that we need to update only the left limit. That means C. That means instead of A we have to write C. So then this new value, this A will be updated, my B will remain the same. Because in all the cases my new functional values are negative. Okay, so my B part is same, and my only this lower limit will be updated by the new value. The process is simple this. Okay, so in this way you can solve a problem by Regular-Falsi method. So your root will be 1.763. That means beta. That means a beta, right? That means beta in our cases. In our graph is beta. This point, this beta. Right? Now you can do one thing. For this graph, if A is positive, right, and if B is negative, that means if A is positive, if B is negative, my new value of C will be right here, right? If you can go through my previous video, you will see the C will be at this point. So corresponding function will be negative, right? That means negative. In that case, my new range will be A to C. That means in the next case, if you can go through my video, see I have drawn another chord which passes from A to this new point. This first of all our point was this is my C, this is your C, and again it will be shifted. The new range will be A to this. So my B will be shifted. So you can compare these things, this table, with the curve of this function values. Okay, how we are approaching to the goal of finding the root of the equation. Okay, Now let's see another problem. The problem was find the root. The problem that's given is sin x plus cos x is equal to 1. Fine. And they said you need to correct up to 4 significant figures. Significant figures. That means you need to consider the integer part also. In this case, only after decimal places we are seeing. In this case, you need to consider the integer part also. So if you solve this, you will see the initial range will be A to B, it is 1.5 to 2. If you choose A such that 1.5, then it will be, my F will be positive. You can do it at your home. And if I choose B to be 2, then my F is negative. Okay. So my new range, that means the initial range will be 1.5 to 2. That means the root should lie between this range, 1.5 and 2. Fine. So if you do the same process, you will get the answer to be 1.571. Okay. 4 significant figures means this one will be included. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the process will be the same. Only remember here the A. For A, my FA will be positive. That means this will be positive and this is negative. That means FA is positive. That means FA is negative. That means you need to consider this upper 2 rows, and depending on the value of FC, you need to update your range. The process will be same. Okay. So in this way, you can solve problems. That means you can find out the root of an equation by Regular-Falsi method. Fine. So in the next class, we will be seeing the rate of convergence of this method. That means how fast we are reaching the result for Regular-Falsi method. We will be seeing that in the next class. So practice in the home. I will send some numerical problems. Try to solve this at home. The process will be same. Remember one thing, only here the main point is to check the sign of your function of this at the new value. And one thing here I have written negative. Don't think that the value of A is negative. A negative means corresponding function value is negative. Okay. And B, for this here the function value is positive, right? So that was written. It means if I write negative here, don't think that I have chosen A to be negative. Okay. That means I have mapped this one. Negative means the function value is negative, and for this case it is positive. Okay. Then for the time being, stay safe. Thank you.